repenting on a daily basis. You better thank the Most High some of us brothers repented, because we probably be robbing you niggas and checking your pockets. You know what I'm saying?
First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, the name in the Paleo Hebrew, Sabanshak Hawashah. I'm Captain Lamak of the Service Assembly, Alabama. And the name of this quick cut is Not My God. You see a lot of Christians, your grandma, your aunties, your uncles, all these people that's into Christianity, the first thing they'll say is, my God is all love. My God would never hate anything. The Most High hates the sin, not the sinner, right? So he's going to give you a few quick cuts. And if you come across a few people that says that the Most High hates the sin and not the sinner, and all these different lies and different things that's been subjugated to our people over the last hundreds of years, thousands of years, right? So the first precept I'm going to get is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, right? It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So we have seasons, we have different times of the year where the weather is cold, the weather is hot. It's in between. You're more susceptible for snow if you live in the northern parts of the world, or for us in the south, we're more susceptible to rain and coldness during that time of winter. Rain and it may get cold from the rain, right? It says, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build back up, right? So Moses says there's a time to kill. There's different times in your life where you may have to defend yourself. You may have to defend the honor of your family, defend the honor of your wife, right? You may be put in a situation where you may have to escape, and there may be somebody in your way that you have to get out the way, right? Now, to murder a person of your own nation, to plot vengeance and murder on that person is wicked. But if you have to defend yourself, yeah, there is a time for that. It's a time for everything under the sun. It says, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. So when it says a time to cast away stones, those stones represent different things in your life. It could be different things that's holding you back. It could actually be people. There's certain time where you got to get them people out your way, because they're keeping you from maintaining a spiritual level that you may want to achieve, or that you want to achieve. Paul speaks about the mastery. A person can keep you from achieving your true spiritual ranking in the army of the Lord. It says, and then there's a time to gather up. You may have to cast away some people and then gather up more righteous people and put those people in front of you. Those people that's going to continue to build your spirit up, that's going to keep you on the path that you want to be on, right? Not that's going to, keep you suppressed or oppressed. Your own people can oppress you sometime too, more than the so-called white man. It says, verse 6, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. Again, it's a time to keep and it's a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. This time to rip and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and it's a time to speak. Yes, most High saying, yeah, sometimes you got to shut up. We were just talking about a lot of situations happening in Israel. Hey, look, it's a time for you to speak on certain things, and it's a time for you to shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing about it, right? Keep pushing, keep moving, right? That's all I'm going to stay on that. Verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate. right? So there's a time, the Most High said, there is a time to hate. Not my God. My God don't hate nothing. My God loves everything. But the Most High just said, when he was speaking to Solomon and giving him the mysteries of the world, he told Solomon that there is a time to hate, right? So let's go ahead and double up on that, right? So let's get the book of Psalms, chapter 97 and verse 10. It says, ye that love the Lord hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints, which is Israel. He delivered them out of the hands of the wicked, which is so-called white men, these other nations, right? So the Most High says that if you love him, you would hate evil. If you walk in the world and you embrace evil, you embrace your women walking around naked, sexualizing children, pornography and masturbation, all these different things that you may battle. If you love that thing, that means you hate the Lord. But if you love wearing fringes, watching sisters be modest, seeing sisters with their head covered, seeing sisters take care of the family, seeing sisters honor the laws of the Lord without having a second thought or a second opinion on it. Seeing brothers honor the word of the Lord, keep the commandments in honesty and also battling certain things. When you see those things, right? When you love the fact that you know that the Most High is coming back to redeem his people. If you want this world to continue to keep going and keep progressing in the world in the way that it is, which is contrary to the children of Israel, then you don't love the Lord. You love evil, therefore you hate the Lord. But the Most High says, ye that love the Lord hate evil. The Most High hates evil, right? Now, let's go from that. Let's go to Amos 5 and 10. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Right? So yeah, they hate us that rebuke in the gate. Other nations hate us when we tell them that they're going into captivity. When they tell them that they're not the chosen people of the Most High. That the Most High God is not a universal God for everybody to go to. Right? That's not what it is. The Most High is the God of Israel. All throughout the scriptures, he doesn't refrain from telling that. And he will continue to repeat that thing thousands of times in the Bible, and I'm exaggerating. But a very great amount of times in the Bible, he will tell you that he is the God of Israel, Yasharala. Right? So let's get the book of Proverbs. Get the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, and verse 13. It says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. The Most High hates pride, man. So-called gay pride, all different types of pride, man. Also in being arrogant. He doesn't like arrogancy, man. You see a lot of people in the world that are very arrogant. There's no humbleness in their spirit. There's no meekness in their spirit. Then the Most High called Moses the meekest in the earth. He wasn't arrogant. He had something to do, and he did it. He got frustrated, man, but he kept rolling. He kept rolling with the Most High. So the Most High can't deal with you if you arrogant. Because if you arrogant, you're going to be like Saul and say, well, look, the Most High want me to do this, that, and the third, but I'm not going to do all of it. I'm going to do some of it, but I'm going to do this here too. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. That's an arrogant spirit. The Most High gave you sound doctrine. The Most High gave simple words to us. He didn't make this thing hard to do. So if you still say you're going to do what you want to do, then that's the spirit of Saul, and you're going to be destroyed. Right? So let's keep going. Let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, and verse 16. It says, these 6 things doeth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood. The Most High hates hands that shed innocent blood, man. Children, man. People that may have not done anything to you, man. Innocent people, man. Verse 18. In heart that deviseth wicked. A mind. The heart is the mind. If your mind devises wicked, this wickedness, all you do is think about what you can do wicked. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know such and such keep the commandments. I'm going to see if I can sneak some pork in on this plate. Ooh, I see this sister, she trying to live righteousness. Let me see if I could smother out, you know what I'm saying, and destroy her spirit so that she'll return to me in the way that she used to be. Right? If you hate to see the rising of Israel, and you love to see the falling of Israel, and you're a key cog in the destruction of your own people, hey, the Most High hates that, man. Your mind devises evil, right? It says, feet that be swift and run into mischief, a false witness, and speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren, right? So if you're a brother in this truth that has or feels a certain kind of way towards any brother, whether in your congregation or brother that's not in this thing, right? And you don't go to that brother, but you just continue to just sow discord. It's not just the person that you sowing discord against that may have a dislike towards you. The Bible says that the Most High hates that. You a false witness because you don't have the person that you're witnessing again in the courtroom. They're not there to plead their case. You just running your trap. You saying whatever's in your heart, whatever's in your mind. The Most High hates a person that sows discord. So if you're a brother and a sister, man, hey, look, just understand that if that's what you're doing, the Most High hates you for that. And you got to repent and come out of that thing, right? Now let's go ahead and go from there. Let's go to Romans. Go to the book of Romans. Let's get the classic. This is the book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 13. For as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. But the Most High say, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated, right? So the Most High is speaking clearly. If there was a time also when he said this prior to the book of Romans, which is your so-called New Testament that you refer to. He already said this before, that Jacob, Yasharallah, the father of the children of Israel, the seed line of the 12 tribes, he loves them. But his counterpart, his brother, the opposite to him, the red man, which is Esau, which is the so-called YT man according to the Bible, he hates him. Right? So let's see what he was talking about. Let's get Malachi. Salakia. Salakia Israel. This is the book of Malachi chapter 1, and I'll start at verse 1. Okay, it says, the burden of the word of the Lord up to Israel. So he's talking to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you. This is the Most High speaking to Israel. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Then this is the Most High giving you an instance. Was not Esau Jacob's brother? saith the Lord. Yet I love Jacob, and I hated Esau. So this is even towards the time of Genesis, the 25th chapter, and on down, from the beginning, the very conception of Esau and Jacob, the Most High hated them. He hated them before he was born, he hated them after he was born. It says, and laid Esau, and laid his mountains to rest, and his heritage, Petra, all these different lands, these are all wastelands now, for the dragons of the earth, right? So the lizards will be the dragons. They crawl into the holes, the dens, all the reptiles and snakes. That's where they dwell at. Mostly they always dwell in caves, in cliffs of the rocks. That's where Esau was living at. It says, we are impoverished. But Esau said, whereas Edom said, which is Esau, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, which is the Lord of armies. They shall build it, but I will throw it down, which means I'll destroy it. And they shall call them, Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever, right? Now, let's see who the wicked is. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So we know that the so-called white man, he owns and he runs the majority of the world, right? As far as his embassies, he has his hand in everything that has to do with the world as we know it. It says, he covered the faces of the judges. So we know the judges would be the prophets in the Bible, right? And which is Yahushua was also the ultimate prophet, right? So they turned him from a woolly-haired, very dark-skinned man with a voice of many waters into a red, so-called white man with blue eyes or green eyes with thin, recessive gene hair, blonde or brown, whatever, and very soft-spoken and effeminate. So he changes the faces of the judges thereof. Thereof means that is. It says, right, and it says, if not, where and who is he? So if it's not so-called white man, then who it is, right? So you'll be confounded, right? So from that, let's get the book of Sirach. Right, the book of Sirach, chapter 25. We got a few in Sirach we trying to get to, right? So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 2. It reads, we'll start at verse 1. In three things I was beautified. So there's three things that the Most High thinks is very beautiful. And stood up beautiful before both before Yahweh and men. The unity of brethren, right? So brothers coming together to do this work, having the same mind state, dealing with each other and preferring each other in this walk, in this truth, or just in the world period. The Most High thinks that that's a beautiful thing. The love of neighbors. We know that your neighbor is the children of thy people, pursuant to the book of Leviticus. A man and a wife that agree together, right? We all know that the man has the final word, but the Most High is beautified by a man and a woman that can and is able to agree with each other, right? It says, 2, and three sorts of men my soul hated. You hear these young Jays talk about all my soul, all my soul. Well, the Most High started that. He been doing this thing. He been talking this talk, right? The Most High said, three sorts of men my soul hated, right? And I am greatly offended. And the Most High is greatly offended by these people. On his soul, he's offended at these people, right? It says, he's offended at their life, man. What's your life like, right? It says, a poor man that is proud, man. So if you poor in the spirit, man, I mean, that's, you're not willing to achieve more through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You're poor, man. You can have all the money in the world, man, but you're poor spiritually. And you don't want to go any further. You don't want to continue to build on that. The Most High soul hated that, man. Right? And that's also a financial thing. You don't have nothing, but you too proud to do the job that the person is offering you. You ain't got nothing. The guy say, okay, the Most High send a man to you, say, look, I'll pay you $7 an hour to do this job, man. That's all I can pay you. You ain't got no skills. You ain't, and nobody else want to hire you. But nah, man, I can't do that, man. I just rather be broke. The Most High looking down at that like, man, you a fool. He doesn't deal with that. His soul hated a poor man that is proud. It says, a rich man that is a liar. You a rich man, you know you're able to make this person's life better. You're able to help this person to achieve. You can help build up the desolate places and do these different things for your people, but you a doggone liar, man. You say you're going to do one thing and then you don't do it. You see that all in politicians. You see that all in these so-called presidents, right? They say they're going to do something, then they don't do it. The Most High hate that. It says, an adulterer, right? And it says, and an old adulterer, an old so-called just man that just do all kind of different things with other men's wives, man. You are old adulterer. You've been doing this thing for a minute, man. The Most High hate that thing. And a woman that's an old adulterer. You just skip from one man to woman. You've been doing this thing for years. You just got a spiritual demon inside of you, that sexual deviant demon, right? That causes you to do these different things. The Most High hates that. So we still going through things the Most High hates, because the consensus is not my God, right? It says, if thou hast gathered nothing in thy youth, now canst thou find anything in thine age, right? Right. So let's go ahead and go to the book of Sirach, the 27th chapter. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 22. It reads, He that winketh with the eyes worketh evil, and he that knoweth him will depart from him. Right. So the Most High, he hates a man that winks his eye. Man, you see Jake always winking their eye, yeah, because a lot of times when that happens, they have an ulterior motive. The Most High hates men that wink their eyes. That means they have an ulterior motive, or they may be saying one thing and thinking something else. Verse 23, when thou art present, he will speak sweetly. So when you're around, he going to talk that talk, man. Oh, man, Captain Lamak, man, he's such a good guy, man. He's a good teacher. He's down to earth, man. He's just like any other, say he's a good, man of the Lord. All the servants, they do the best, the best feast days, and they so lovable, and Chief, he's so rugged and raw, man. But he's such a good-hearted person, good-minded person, right? They'll talk all these good things, man, in front of you. This is what the Most High hates. I'm still with what the Most High hates. It says, and will admire thy words. Everything you say, boy, it's like he's leaning on every word. Oh man, you start bringing up Amos 1:11 about how Esau is still gonna be punished. I'm talking about he hanging on every word you say, right? Verse 23 it says, and at the last he will wreath his mouth and slander thy sayings. But at the end he gonna do his lips like that. He gonna be like, man, this nigga don't know what he's talking about, man. When you see this, man, this is why Israel can't never make it. This is why Israel, that's why the so-called white man hates, because we got jokers like this. You know what I'm saying? The Most High hates people like that, man. You wink in your eyes, you really despise this person, man. In your mind, in your heart, you really don't like this person, man. You don't like where he is. If he may be a certain level, or he may have gotten a certain rank. You don't know why, and you thinking this, that, and the third. Instead of embracing it, man, you really in your heart of hearts, your mind of minds, you really hate that man. And you got to repent for that thing, man. Right? Verse 24. I have hated many things. This is most I say. I have hated many things, but nothing like him. For the Lord will hate him, man. So the Most High hates, men that speak a certain way in front of you, but hate you truly in their heart of minds, and slander you with their words, man, when you're not around. And also that's a coward, man. The Most High didn't create no cowards, man. And he didn't give us the spirit of fear neither, right? So let's keep rolling, right? Let's get the book of Wisdom of Solomon, man. We're going to stay in the Apocrypha, right? Hope I'm not moving too fast, but I really ain't mean for this lesson to be very long, right? Let's get the book. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 9, man. It reads, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike, hateful unto Yahweh, man. So the Most High hates the ungodly and the ungodliness. So don't let a wicked preacher, pastor tell you that the Most High only hates the sin. The Most High, it just says in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Remember, the Most High gave Solomon all the knowledge in the world and everything else in the world because he didn't ask for nothing but wisdom. This is it right here. This is the Wisdom of Solomon. It says, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike. It's the same thing. So he can't hate the sinner and not hate the sin, and he can't hate the sin without hating the sinner, man. This is right in the scriptures. This is why this book was taken out, so that they can push a narrative and give Yahweh their own identity, turn him into an Edomite, and make him a soft, effeminate ruler who only can love. He can never do evil, and make a counterpart that's evil like him, that's just as powerful, that's fighting constantly. It's foolishness and madness, man. Right? So let's get the book of Sirach again. Let's get the book of Sirach 12, man. Sometimes this stuff gets under my skin, Israel, man, every day, right? So let's get the book of Sirach chapter 12 and verse 6. For the Most High God, Yahweh, hated sinners. I thought he just hated the sin. And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly that don't keep his commandments, and keep it them against the mighty day of their punishment. So there's going to be a day where the ungodly, the wicked of our people, the wicked of these nations, the sin and the sinner will be punished. Can't go around it, man. Can't go around it. Let's get Psalms again. Get the book of Psalms. Get the book of Psalms. Salaki. Let's get the book of Psalms chapter 5 and verse 5. We'll start at verse 4. It says, for thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness. The Most High hates wicked. We already know who the wicked is. Job 9:24. Malachi 1:1 on the 4. We know who the wicked is. The Most High hate. You got wicked eye people too in other nations, but that's the chief wicked, Esau, Edom. It says, for thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The Most High do not dwell with evil. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Iniquity is sin, evil doing, idolatry, dealing with familiar spirits, rape, rob, and murder. All these different, the Most High hates these things, man, every day, all day. So again, does the Most High hate? Yes, he hates. The Most High hate a lot of stuff. He hates you for saying he don't hate. Because that's not the truth, right? Let's go ahead and let's get the last precept. Let's get Psalm chapter 139 and verse 9. It's the book of Psalms chapter 139 Salakia in verse 19. It says, now this is who? To the chief musician. This is the Psalm of David. This is David talking, right? A man of the Most High's heart, which is his mind. This man was just like the Most High in the mind, right? In the way he thought about war in these other nations. That's why the Most High loved David so much, because he was just like him, right? It's the book of Psalms chapter 139 verse 19. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O Yahweh. Depart from me therefore, ye bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly. So he's on the Most High side. He's complaining and fussing about how people talking about the Lord. It says, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole bunch of nations, oh, they talk God this, God that. You don't even know God. If you knew God, you wouldn't even be speaking on him as if you know him. Because if you really knew the scriptures as it is written, you would know that he is the God of the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American man, right? Verse 21, it says, do not I hate them? What did David say? Do not I hate them? Then we just read it, the Most High hates. Wasn't David a man of the Most High's heart and mind? Oh Yahweh, that hate thee? So they hate you and I hate them. And you hate them. It says, am not I grieved with those that rise up against you, Father? Verse 22, I hate them with a perfect hatred. Can't get no better than that. A clean hatred. The Most High hates things with a clean hatred. All throughout the book of Sirach, he's talking about how all the things that he hates and what he's offended of with a perfect hatred. Just like David said, right? It says, I count them mine enemies. So whoever your enemy is, Yahweh, is my enemy. And that should be the spirit and the mind frame of all Israel, man. Right? Especially the ones that get out and teach. It says, search me, O Yahweh, and know my mind, know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way of the everlasting, right? So this lesson right here, man, was called Not My God, right? But we can see when you go precept upon precept and you go through the scriptures as it is written, once again, these lessons are for those that don't know. If you already know, then it's a way to revise your memory of these precepts. But these precepts and these lessons are for those that don't know, that's trying to come up in the spirit, right? That's what these is for, right? Not my God. That's foolishness, right? So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God in the name of his only begotten Son, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, whose name in the Paleo Hebrew is Mashiach Yahweh. I'm Captain Lamak of the Service Assembly, Alabama. Shalom.
Repenting on a daily basis. You better thank the Most High some of us brothers repented, because we probably be robbing you niggas and checking your pockets.